Welcome back to Both Aunt Vivs. Today we're talking about Creed 3, the third installment in the Creed franchise, but only the first one to straight up rip off Dragon Ball Z.
Hold up. Let's not get crazy, okay? It definitely had its anime inspirations, I will give you that. But Dragon Ball Z ripoff, ain't that a bit much? Creed 3 brings back the regulars, right? So we've got Michael B. Jordan as Adonis Creed, okay? Then we have Tessa Thompson as Bianca, and Wood Harris comes back as Tony Little Duke Burton. And then added to the cast is the one and only Jonathan Majors,
who absolutely kills it again with a show-stealing performance as the movie's antagonist, Diamond Dame Anderson. I mean, damn.
For sure. His role as Kang in Ant-Man Quantumania, it feels like a warm-up compared to what he served up in Creed 3. And I gotta say, I liked the movie. I did. Comparing it to the other two in the franchise, I'd say that this was better than Creed 2, but definitely not as good as Coogler's classic Creed, the very first one.
Yeah, I mean, the movie was really good, and we can thank Dragon Ball Z for that.
Oh my God, here you go again with the Dragon Ball Z. All right, let's get into it. The movie begins with a flashback of young Adonis and Damien as kids. They've known each other for years and even spent time together living in a group home. Damien is an exceptional young boxer, and he has dreams of one day going pro.
Don't forget, Donnie's mom, Marianne, played by the Queen TV mom herself, Felicia Rashad, does not like Damien and thinks he's a bad influence on Adonis.
And she's not completely wrong, but her baby's got a dark side too. One night, Adonis and Damien are out. They go to a convenience store and they run into a man named Leon from their past.
Leon used to beat them when they lived in the group home.
So out of nowhere, Donnie just snaps and starts wailing on this dude, which causes Leon's buddies to jump on Donnie. So Damien, in an attempt to help Donnie out, pulls out a gun right as the police show up. Donnie makes a run for it, but Damien gets arrested and locked up for 18 years.
Harsh. Adonis really just left him like that.
And so fast forward to present day, Adonis goes on to become the boxing superstar that Damien always dreamed of becoming. And so now Donnie has his retirement match with Ricky Conlon in South Africa. Now this is his own personal Rumble in the Jungle, boxing in the motherland, just like both Adonis and Damien used to dream of. And so after Adonis defeats Conlon and retires, we fast forward another 3 years, and Donnie is now managing the current heavyweight champ, Felix Chavez.
When Dame gets out, he seeks out Donnie and makes his intentions clear. He still can fight and wants a title shot.
Yep, Damien basically guilts his way into becoming Felix's sparring partner, despite Duke's strong objections. And the whole time he keeps pressing Donnie to give him a title fight. But Felix is supposed to fight Donnie's opponent from the last movie, Victor Drago, who is the son of Ivan Drago.
But Dame doesn't let that stop him. He straight up has Drago's hand broken by a dude he met in prison. How did he even get this guy into an exclusive party like that? I know Dame was invited by Bianca, but did he add his celly as a +1? Did he sneak him in through the kitchens? I need a bonus scene to explain this.
Well, yeah, that all did really happen really quickly. And you have to wonder, at what point in the movie did Damon concoct this whole scheme? Was he desperate after his heated sparring session with Felix, or was he plotting this in prison the whole time?
Either way, he gets exactly what he wants. An opportunity for his homie to injure Drago, removing him from the fight and forcing Donnie to come up with another fighter with short notice.
And just like that, bam, a man who has never had a title shot in his life is suddenly the #1 contender. And it's marketed as an underdog story, just like the Rocky versus Apollo Creed fight back in the day.
Yes, and this is one of the only mentions of Rocky in the whole film. It's no secret that Sylvester Stallone chose not to return for the third movie because of issues he had with the producers and the creative direction of this installment.
Yeah, no Rocky in this movie. But I will say that Wood Harris's Duke takes up a lot of real estate in this film as the grizzled mentor. And I'm not entirely sure where Rocky would have fit in this story. I love Rocky, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if he was necessary for this movie.
Yeah, it may have been crowded, but this whole franchise was based off Rocky's back.
True, but Rocky and Apollo. Don't forget Donnie's daddy, because he's really the catalyst for the majority of the movies in the universe. Rocky versus Creed. Rocky was the underdog, but Creed was the champ and the box office draw.
And now, Felix is the champ and Dame is the underdog. And this is where Michael B. Jordan's directing really impressed me, because in his title fight with Felix, you truly feel how much of an underdog he is. He's pretty much alone in his locker room, with way less of an entourage than Felix. Felix is also given an elaborate entrance for his walkout, while Dame is more simple, yet still the shot of Donnie and Dame staring at each other through the locker room wall and Felix's entrance were some of the best directing scenes in the entire movie.
The direction was on point, and when the fight starts, we really see how dangerous Dame can be. He's hyper-focused on Felix's shoulder that he injured during sparring. And throughout the fight, he starts taking cheap shots on the arm and the shoulder, severely handicapping Felix in the fight.
I think everyone except Duke really underestimated how far Dame would go to win. Don was so sure that his champ was going to win. But that's not what happened. Dame keeps cheating, almost getting disqualified after hitting him with an elbow to the face.
Dame strategically bends the rules and defeats Felix to become the new heavyweight champion of the world. And Felix is seriously injured, like he's sent to the hospital.
Yep, and Donnie's meal ticket has been defeated. I'm not gonna lie, I felt some type of way that Donnie was cheering for Felix so much over Dame. Like, this is your boy that went to prison because he was protecting you, and you couldn't even pretend to be neutral. I think this is the point in the movie when I really started rooting for Dame.
Wait. You were rooting for the man who cheated and manipulated his way to the title?
I mean, yeah, Felix was a dick the whole time. I didn't mind seeing him get knocked out. And can we talk about his mom, who cared more about the bag than her son's safety against this angry ex-con? They kind of got what they signed up for, no?
I mean, maybe. And speaking of moms, Donnie's mom is watching the fight at home and turns it off in disgust when Dame wins. You can tell she is not a fan.
This is when Creed's mom reveals that she has the box of letters that Dame sent from prison.
Yes, and not only did the box contain letters from Dame, it had a picture of him from prison. And that picture reveals to Donnie that the man who attacked Drago was Dame's cellmate.
I'm not okay with Creed's mom keeping the letters from Donnie all these years. Like, she didn't have to do that. It's so notebook of her. Also, why keep them? Burn that shit. Burn the evidence.
Yeah, on one hand, yes, it is messed up. But she did it so that he could become the man he is today. Plus, Donnie said himself that he never reached out to Dame. So it's not all on his mom. He never even asked her about the letters after Dame told him that he'd sent them. He didn't care about those damn letters. He was too busy trying to forget the past.
Because of the picture inside, Don connects the dots and realizes the truth about the guy who broke Drago's hand. He thinks Dame has been playing him since his return and goes to confront him.
Let's talk about that confrontation, because that scene on the beach where Adonis confronts Dame, that was peak Jonathan Majors excellence, okay? His heel turn is complete and he is flaunting it. He insults Donnie. He tells him that he needed him when he was in prison and when he was released. But now that he's the champ, he don't need him for nothing. And then the scene ends with Dame insulting Donnie by calling him Baby Creed. And if we remember anything from the first Creed, that was an issue. And then leaves him on one knee after punching him in the face.
His aloha to Don as he walked away had me rolling. I mean, aloha? Come on, that's some evil shit. That was my second favorite Dame line of the movie. Number one being when he was like, "Don't get quiet now, Dookie."
Both of those lines were hilarious, especially Dookie. But, where did Dame get all of these friends from? That's what I want to know. He was locked up for 18 years and all of a sudden he has the whole beach full of homies.
Them groupies come through fast when you the champ.
Okay, so the beef with Dame forces Donnie out of retirement, and he is looking to challenge for the belt.
Wait, don't forget, Marianne dies.
Oh, damn, that's right. Mama Marianne has another stroke, and right before she passes away, she's on her deathbed and she sees a vision of Apollo. And she's speaking to Apollo about Donnie and how Donnie helped her forgive Apollo for dying. Marianne dies, and it leads to an emotional climax where Donnie finally reveals to Bianca what happened with Dame when they were kids after holding on to all of those details from his past.
Rest in peace, Mama Creed. This is one of the few moments in the movie where Rocky truly felt missed. With all his history with the Creeds, Rocky would have 100% been at the funeral.
So after the funeral, Donnie uses his mother's words and the support of Bianca to come out of retirement, and he needs to set the record straight at this point with Dame, and he's got to put him in his place.
So Donnie goes on First Take and challenges Dame for the championship. I did not need to hear and see Stephen A. Smith on an IMAX screen, but the match is set, and we head into the final fight of the movie, Adonis Creed versus Dame Anderson for the heavyweight championship of the world.
So the climax of the movie is an intense and surreal bout between the two once friends that's pretty much even for all 12 rounds. The boxing ring turns into a metaphysical space where all Donnie and Dame can see and hear are each other. There's no crowd, there's no one in their corners, nothing but each other. And then we see imagery of prison bars from Dame's time in prison and the mattress that Leon used to beat Donnie on. Both men are literally and figuratively fighting their past in the ring. It's an even bout until Donnie knocks Dame out with only minutes left to spare.
Donnie wins, and in the end, he and Dame start to reconcile their relationship. But what about him putting Felix in the hospital and setting up Drago for injury? Is he just going to get away with that?
Yeah, it's weird, right? That we see Dame put Felix in the hospital, because that seems like a very serious injury, right? And everyone's really scared for his health. But then the next time we see him, he's just fine in the front row of the Creed-Dame fight, right? Like, is he okay? They just kind of forgot about Felix.
Yeah, if this were for real, I would think Drago or Felix would get the title shot before Donnie did. But this is a movie, and I get it. And the fight between Dame and Donnie looked amazing. Even though they fast forward through a bunch of rounds, I thought it was well done.
The final fight was good. It was really good. And it was really hard for me not to cheer for Dame, even though he's the quote-unquote bad guy.
Look, I'm just gonna say it. Dame wasn't the bad guy. He was on the path to greatness in boxing and was derailed by his gun charge. And if we're being honest, it was Donnie's fault. He's the one who started the fight with Leon, and he's the one who ran away. Little punk ass.
Yeah, but you can't blame Donnie for Dame actually having a gun. Like, that was his choice. I found it hard not to root for Dame because Jonathan Majors is just that good. What a great cerebral villain. You know, like he spent the movie systematically trying to break down the world around Donnie. If you notice, he was even able to exploit Bianca's regrets about not being able to perform anymore. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, those scenes were intense. It felt like he was staring through her soul at times and really trying to get to Adonis through Bianca.
Is it weird that all the boxing arenas were CGI? Like, are we going a little too far with the CGI stuff now? And don't get me wrong, the anime-inspired boxing sequences, they were cool, but come on. Everything in the world disappears for them except for that huge DAZN logo in the middle of the ring. I can't lie, that took me out of the moment a little bit. But you know what? Product placement, that was the real winner of this fight.
Hennessy and The Zone took all the screen time Sylvester Stallone would have gotten because I feel like I was seeing those logos throughout the whole movie.
So let's get into this Dragon Ball Z stuff, because I don't watch anime, so I don't get all of the anime-inspired scenes, especially in the final battle scene.
You don't have to watch anime to appreciate it. The entire final battle was a heavy nod to the art form. It's legit what made the final fight so exciting. When Dame and Donnie both punch each other in the face at the same time, that looks just like the fight between Goku and Vegeta. And when Donnie gets punched in the gut in the final round, that is straight up just like when Frieza is punched in the gut by Goku.
Well, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Akira Toriyama better be getting some flattery in the form of royalties, is all I'm saying.
Well, are you excited for the franchise to continue? That's the question. Because Michael B. has already confirmed that Creed 4 is in the works.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll sit my butt in a theater seat for Creed 4. If they could find a way to bring back Jonathan Majors as Damien, even better.
Really? I wouldn't mind seeing him again, but his story feels like, I don't know, it feels like it concluded pretty perfectly with him reconciling with Adonis and just admitting that what happened between them wasn't on him, you know? If anything, I'd be more interested in seeing the daughter try her hand at boxing.
You want Creed 4 to be his deaf daughter boxing? Yeah, you got that. Give me more Dame. I could do without the daughter.
Be nice. Bianca was able to be a top-selling producer with her hearing impairment. And the daughter doesn't have to be a little girl. They can age her up for the next movie.
I'm not sold yet. Is she gonna fight Dame? Because if there's no Dame, I'm not watching it.
What? You want her to fight Kang? What did that little girl ever do to you?
I said what I said. I'm not watching any more Creed movies without Diamond Dame Anderson.
Well, hey, that's that on that. So with that being said, what did you all think of Creed 3? Did you enjoy Jonathan Majors as the villain from Donnie's past? Were you excited by the anime references? Let us know all of your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching both Aunt Vivs.